Okay. Good day, class. Welcome to Government at your study part. In today's class, we're looking at past questions. Just like we did in the last class, we want to be looking at past questions, how they can ask questions, and how we'll be able to get the right answer. So we're going to continue from where we stopped last class. We're going to look at another year, see how they can ask questions. Last class, we looked at year 2024. So pick another year today and see how they can ask what questions on it, okay? This is Jamb 2020. Now for my past question, look at this question. Question one. The recognition of the rights of the leader to rule by the governed in a state captures the definition of option A, authority, B, legitimacy, C, power, and D, sovereignty. That's our first question. The second question, fascism is conceptually the same as A, monarchy, B, authoritarianism, C, democracy, and D, plutocracy. Number three, the head of the executive can be removed from power through impeachment. in which of the following, option A, presidential system of government, B, unitary system of government, C, cabinet system of government, and D, monarchical system of government. So let's just examine these first three questions we have on the board. Now look at these first three questions on the board. Now the first question reads, the recognition of the right of the leader to rule by the governed in a state captures the definition of. Now all these we have on the board in the options are the basic concepts of government. Okay, authority is what a basic concept. Legitimacy also what a basic concept. Power is what a basic concept. Also what sovereignty. Okay. Now before you pick the right answer, you need to understand the options. Okay. Now, what do you understand by the concept of authority? Now, the concept of authority implies that the legal rights or the legitimate what way, okay, of influencing or controlling the affairs of what others is what we call what authority. While legitimacy have to do with what the recognition and acceptance of a leader to govern the affair of the people. Now, the recognition and what acceptance of the people, giving what a right to what a leader to govern the affair is called what legitimacy. Okay, while power is talking about what the capacity to affect another's what behavior through the use of what threats of sanction. That is, which can be based on what force, that is coercion. And sovereignty is talking about what the supreme power and authority of an individual to govern the affairs of a group of what people. It's called what sovereignty. Now, in this question, if you read, the recognition of the rights of the leader to rule by the governed in a state capture the definition of what? Talking about what? Legitimacy. Why? The word recognition is what appear in that word question. And legitimacy is talking about two things: recognition and what acceptability of a leader to govern a particular state. That's the right answer. Now look at the next one. Fascism is conceptually the same as. Now, if you look at these options, now this option is talking about the system of what government. Monarchy is what a system of government. Plutocracy is what a system of government. Democracy and authoritarianism. Now, monarchy is talking about a system of government in which what power, political power and authority is vested in a monarch. When we say monarch, we're looking at a king, a queen, emperor and what? Empress, okay? That's what monarchy is talking about. Now, authoritarianism is talking about what? A system of government in which what? The leader is seen as what? The supreme and direct the affairs of the people using the concept of coercion, which is what? Force. That we call what? Authoritarianism. Okay, the leader emerges as what? A dictator. While democracy is talking about what? A system of government that involves what? The people what? Consultation. You understand? While plutocracy is talking about a system of government by the wealthy ones. Now, if you look at the options, the two forms of totalitarianism, they are Nazism and what? Fascism. These are what? The two what? Forms of what? Fascism. We have what? Nazism and what? The two forms of what? Authoritarianism, Nazism and what? Fascism. So in this option, fascism is what? Conceptually the same as what? What's the answer? Authoritarianism, because it's based on the concept of what? Force. And the leader with absolute power and ruled by coercion. The third question, the head of the executive can be removed from power through what? Impeachment. In which of the following? Now we have four options there. I underline the word impeachment because that will direct us towards to the right answer. Now we have presidential system of government, we have unitary system of government, we have cabinet system of government, and we have what? Monarchical system of what? Government. Now, in presidential system of government, we have it as that the head of state is the same as the head of government. Okay? Now, that is the constitutional power and authority in a state is vested on an individual, which is the same as what? The head of state and the head of government. In unitary system of government, we have that what? The constitutional power and authority in the state is exercised only by the central government. That is, the single central government is supreme. Why? We have cabinet. Cabinet system of government, also known as parliamentary system of government, is a system of government in which what? The constitutional power and authority in a state is shared between two individuals, head of state and head of government. The last one is what I just explained now. Monarchical system of government. A system of government that is headed by a monarch. Okay? Now, presidential system of government talks about impeachment. That is, it allows for checks and balances. And in checks and balances, those are what measures put in place so as not to abuse what the constitutional power given to the arms of government. And what are the arms of government? We have the executive, the legislature, and the judiciary. So in this case, the legislature uses what? The power of what? Impeachment to check abuse of power on the executive arm of government. So the right answer here is what? Presidential system of what? Government. Now, in cabinet system of government, so instead of using impeachment, they use what we call vote of no confidence. Okay. So the right answer based on this question is what? Presidential system of government. Okay. So let's look for other questions. A system of government conditioned by cultural heterogeneity is option A, unitary, B, cabinet, C, federal, and D, confederal. Question 5. Cabinet system of government equivalent of impeachment, which obtains in the presidential system is option A, prorogation, end of session, C, tenurial interchange, and D, votes of no confidence. Question 6. Transmission of certain beliefs, attitudes, and values the and is logged. This ones they are not writing held by citizens about a about a political system into an individual is conceptually termed option A, sovereignty, B, devolution, C, political education, and D, political socialization. Now we have another question on the board. Let's examine these three questions. Question 4, question 5, and question 6. Now, look at question 4. A system of government conditioned by cultural heterogeneity is dash. Now, we have option A, unitary, we have cabinet, we have federal, and we have what? Confederal. Now, looking at the features of this system or forms of government, in unitary, we have that unitary is practiced in a what? Relatively small country with homogeneous population. With what? Homogeneous population. Also apply with what? Cabinets. Okay? But in federal system of what? Government, it is practiced where the population is what? Is large. Large what? Population, and it is what? Heterogeneous. It is heterogeneous in population. Now, what do you understand by the word heterogeneous? Heterogeneous is the word opposite of homogeneous, where we have in a country that has what? Different religion. The word hetero means what? Different. Different religion, different political ideology, different culture, different political parties, and lots more. Example of that country is what? Nigeria. So that is why we have the answer as well, federal. The answer is what? Federal. Like in Nigeria, we now have one religion. We have different religion. Not only that, different culture, different languages, different political parties, different political ideologies, and so on. So when you see cultural heterogeneity, it's trying to what? A federal system of what? Government. But it is if it is what? Cultural homogeneity, is referring to as what? Unitary system of government. Are we good? Now, question 5. Cabinet system of government, equivalent of impeachment, which obtains in the presidential system is dash. Remember that our question 3 was on presidential system of government, and the right answer then was what? Impeachment. And I explained that in presidential system, the way we have what? Impeachment. Also, in cabinet system of government, the equivalent is what? Vote of no confidence. So what's the right answer? This is what? The right answer. Presidential uses what? Impeachment. While cabinet system of government or parliamentary makes the what? Vote of no confidence. And this vote of no confidence is used to remove what? The prime minister and the entire cabinet. Okay? Number 6, transmission of certain beliefs, attitude, and values held by citizens about a political system into an individual is conceptually termed what? What's the right answer? Political world, socialization.